Can we deal with the elephant in the room? What do you have to say about the reports of the documents of Nicky Arthur that's been reported in Australia?
I thought the DRS was the elephant in the room yesterday. For legal reasons, obviously, I can't go into that at all, and that's pretty obvious.
Right, and yet the headlines are going to be about a team beset by infighting. What would you have to say to that?
All I can say is I've sat in front of you guys now a couple of times over the last 3 weeks, and it's pretty obvious where the team's going. That's been plain as your nose on your face to see. From our point of view, we've got a test match to play. We're 1-0 down. We're at the home of cricket, so from our group's point of view, it doesn't get more exciting.
Brad, are you a bit frustrated though? You had a good first test. People were predicting this whitewash. It was a good game of cricket. Australia surprised everyone. Are you frustrated that we're now talking about team unity going into the second test where the pressure's really on England?
I'm frustrated that we lost the cricket game. I don't think from our point of view and where this group's at, things haven't changed. We're here to play 4 more tests in an Ashes campaign. So from that point of view, things haven't changed at all. We're disappointed with the result last test. We got close enough where we could nearly touch it. So, but from that point of view, it was a disappointing result, and now on to the second test.
Dean.
Right, you said that we can see which way this team's going, obviously since Darren took over, but quite often the sort of white heat of a test match can go one of 2 ways. It can either bring a team closer together in adversity, or it can actually put the pressure on and those factions, shall we say, start to split. So which way do you think things are going after that first test?
I think they've been going in the right direction since day one of the tour. My stance on that hasn't changed. Obviously, it was a disappointing result in the first test. It was nice to get so close, but we're not here to get close. We're here to win cricket games. And where we're at and where we want to take this group, we're comfortable with everything's at. It's the second test of the campaign. We're at Lords. We'd love to see a couple of guys' names up on the board and to get a win here.
And did you feel that first test, that drama, that tension brought you tighter as a group, or not?
I don't think how close that game brought us any tighter together. The group's been fine since day one of the tour, since we've all come together. So we're obviously all disappointed and we're all feeling the hurt from losing the test match, but it hasn't driven us closer together. It's made us just as determined to move forward and win a test match.
There's a feeling in the group, or not feeling outside the group, feeling looking from the outside in. The arrival of Darren has seemed to have galvanised things. It seemed to have actually improved things. And what's your take on that?
My take is, since I've been back with the Australian team, everything's been fine. Day one of the tour, it was an exciting time, and the excitement hasn't changed. We're all pretty excited to be in an Ashes campaign. Darren's done a wonderful job, like all our staff and our players, and we've gone over it before. It's not hard to come up for an Ashes campaign. This is as good as it gets. All the other stuff we can talk about is white noise. So it's not something that there's actually been affected the side at all.
So what's been the difference between Mickey as coach and Darren as a coach? What have been the differences that you've seen in your time, sort of under Mickey and now under Darren?
I've played under a lot of coaches, but we can sit here and go under who's the best coach I've played at and who I didn't get on with. But the bottom line is Darren Lehmann's the coach of the Australian cricket team now, and that's not going to change. We're here to play on an Ashes campaign. I'm not going to get into what ifs and who was better than this and who wasn't as good as this. Our job is just to get on with this campaign.
Right, isn't going to kind of been through this situation in a way that, you know, there's a player, it looks like things aren't going well in a dressing room, but what almost seemed to come out of that was that, look, you throw a lot of guys together, not everyone's going to get on. I mean, that's part of life. I mean, could you kind of describe what that kind of situation is like in the Australian dressing room?
No, the Australian dressing room's fine.
Is there a feud within the team?
With who? DRS?
Between Michael Clark and Shane Watson?
No.
There is no feud?
No. I don't know how many times we need to answer this.
Were you surprised or shocked when Mickey Arthur was sacked?
I think everyone was surprised, but there's no point talking about it anymore. We've gone past all this. We're moving forward with the with the campaign. It's not something that we've sat there and spoken about. We want to become better cricketers, and we want to move forward as a cricket team, and that's as simple as it gets for us.
Does anyone have any questions about the Ashes and the second test that we're going to play and try to level the series?
2 days on, how after such a grueling match and in the heat, how's the recovery going on between body and mind for everybody?
Well, everyone's obviously a bit weary. It was a lot of emotion going into that first test for everyone. So it's good to have a couple get back into train today, have a travel day yesterday, have a lighter day tomorrow, and lead into the test. So from that point of view, everyone's at different stages, making sure they're ready for day one at Lords.
What do you reckon the team will be?
I don't know.
Wild guess.
I don't know. All I know is that we've got a fit list. Warner's not going to play. So apart from that, we've got everyone available.
I'm guessing Matthew Way's not going to play either.
I think I'm at 7 still.
Yeah.
Have you had serious discussions about how we use DRS and being more choosy about referrals?
I think DRS is an interesting one. I think you've just got to go on your feel. You've got to take emotion out of it. And if you think the decision was out, it's as simple as that. You refer it. And if it says it's not, it's life goes on. There's no hidden tactic to DRS. It's just if you think it was out, you send it upstairs.
Is it a case of thinking it's out though, or knowing it's out? Because you can waste referrals and then the howler doesn't get revealed later on.
Oh yeah, you can get into it as deep as you want, but if we feel it's out, we'll refer it, and if we don't, we won't. Like there's no secret to it out there. There's no tactic behind it. It's just you go on your feel. Maybe we might need to take emotion out of it.
Ali?
Brad, you seem to enjoy batting against Steve Finn in that run chase, getting 15 off 1 over and taking him a part of it. Would you like to see him playing in this Test match?
I'm not going to go into what England, they've picked the same squad and they're in the same position as us. They'll come up with their 11 the morning of the game.
But there's been no plan to actually purposely target him?
No, I thought that was a moment in the game where I got a feel that they didn't really want to bowl him at that time. So we had to try to get Anderson back as quick as we could because he was doing a lot of their workload. So we had to take a risk somewhere to get the scoreboard moving forward.
Rich? Brad, did you know that you hit that final, turned out to be the final ball of the test?
Yeah, I hit it.
Yeah, and not blame you for not walking.
No.
Nobody does, you know. And what were your emotions in those few seconds while England were deciding whether to refer it or not?
I knew I was out. I hit the ball. It was obvious.
Dan?
I was just going to say regarding the DRS and what happens once the referrals are used up. Do you think that the teams, as it's been in for a while now, once the two are used up, they just you just stand your ground, come all the way, regardless of what the dismissal is, and make the umpire lose?
I think you just stand your ground. Whatever. If you're not standing your ground, it's dissent. It doesn't really change. It's as simple as that. If you think you can use it, you use it. If it's not out, you don't use it. It's not actually a big thing, the DRS.
Ross?
Brad, how did you mentally recover from the first test? You looked so shattered on the ground. Have you done anything?
Oh no, nothing different. We had a travel day yesterday. Just been a low couple of days to be perfectly honest. Just letting the body recover. It's a bit harder for me to recover now than an Ash Agar or a Paddo, but no, from that point of view, it's just the same. I'll be up and going to tomorrow, looking forward to number 2.
Tim Avery?
Brad, Lord's, special ground, there's the slope and everything. Is it something that, obviously you need to pass on to the younger guys who haven't sort of experienced it? Will it be very different for those guys playing here?
The only thing I've passed on is that it's a great place to play cricket. We're lucky enough to have Glenn McGrath here this morning, so I'm not going to talk about the slope when he owned that slope for a good part of 10 years. So, it's just an exciting test to play.
And Australia have got a great record here, and a lot of touring teams tend to raise their game. Will there be a kind of a Lord's excitement factor amongst you guys?
Naturally. It's exciting place to play. It's the home of cricket, just outside the SCG, but it's close second. So from that point of view, it's just exciting for our young guys, just walking into the change rooms, walking down onto the ground. It's such a unique place and to play the game. So from that point of view, it's going to be good fun.
So the last time Australia played here 4 years ago, it was a difficult first morning. Sids and Mitchell Johnson sprayed all over the place and made you do calisthenics behind the stumps, and some of them went flying through, and England got away to a flyer, and the test was virtually over at lunch. So, what have you and Sids and the other guys who played here been able to pass any experience on about just trying and not get too overwhelmed or overawed about the fact that it's at Lords?
Yeah, sometimes that can be a factor. No matter how old you are, you can get too excited. But we're pretty comfortable where we're at. That we're a lot older now and understand the game and what we're trying to do. And Sids and Ryan Harris as well have been great for our younger bowlers. And to have McGrath there today, actually talking about the slope was quite funny. We thought, yeah, he used it pretty well over his time, but I don't think he thought about it too much. I think he just used top of off and good bumper. That's all he talked about.
I was going to ask about McGrath. He addressed the team, did he, or just the bowling unit?
No, we're lucky enough. We encourage any greats of our game to come. There's Steve Wall was also around today. It was good to see those guys, and he hasn't got any great answers. It's just reinforcing everything that we've been talking about. And it was just good to have him around. He's a legend in the game. McGrath, he's a great person to go with that as well. So it was good just to have him around the group, and he's still a pest.
Do you know when the lineup's going to be announced? Is it again going to be at the toss of the coin?
I'm not sure yet. That would be my gut feeling that's when it would be named. It's no point assessing the wicket now. We'll have a look closer to the end of training tomorrow, and the brain trust will come together and sort out what's the best way to try to get 20 wickets and win the match.
Last question.
Do you feel like the short turnaround, 4 days, is more of a help than a hindrance to you guys?
I haven't really thought about it, to be perfectly honest. I haven't thought about it.
Just ask one final question. How hungry is the team for a win here at Lords? We want it bad, yeah?
Not really. Obviously, yeah. We want to win. Yeah, we're disappointed with the result in the first test, but we've got to keep moving forward as a group. And there are things that we can take out that we did well from that first test and things that we need to improve on. So from that point of view, we've got 2 more days now, and a bit of luck we can put the things we need to improve on out to practice come the second test match.